Why is there such an emphasis on not having compassion for narcissists when they're acting that way because they're wounded, right? Versus when it comes to people who are, let's say, struggling with um, like kids that are off the derech or an alcoholic, addict of any sort, really, we tend to treat them with a lot of compassion and love, and we say that that's the way to get them back. Why do we focus so much on how narcissists can't heal and how we need to set boundaries with them and protect ourselves from them?
Right. So we're only focusing on our perspective, right? We're not talking about the narcissist. We're talking about us protecting ourselves. So the difference between someone that has any kind of issue versus we all have character flaws, right? So why do we separate narcissists from all the other character flaws? Is because let's take an alcoholic, for example. So the alcoholic is going from here till alcohol, let's say, right? They have to get their fix. Their fix is alcohol. They might hurt someone on the way, which is terrible, and we have to deal with it. But they're not hurting the person. The person is, they're not going out to hurt the person. They're struggling internally, and the way they deal with it is by getting alcohol. Some people get hurt on the way, right? Versus a narcissist, the person that's being hurt is the feed, is the alcohol. That's what they're going out to do. Sometimes they drink on the way. They're heading out to hurt someone. So that's why we always have to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries with everyone, even with sometimes kids that are off the derech. We have to know how, but we have a self, and we have to protect. While caring for our kids, we also have to make sure that we don't get damaged. But with a narcissist, they're here to damage us directly. Now, not all narcissists, so we have to gauge and we have to see, is this a person? I think we discussed it previously. Maybe we didn't, then we have to. Am I in a relationship? Is this relationship dangerous to me? Like, is this person out there to get me? Or is it just very uncomfortable? And then we have to see how boundaries could work. We see this with Yaakov and Lavan, right? So Lavan tells Yaakov at the end of the story, he says, well, you worked for me, and then I gave you this. And by this, he says, Zois, this. By that, he means his kids. Like, I sold you my daughters for the work that you did. And then after Yaakov fled, he says to Yaakov, Lavan says to Yaakov, Habunai, Habunam Bunai, Vabunai is Benoisai, Hakol Shaliham. Everything is mine. But a minute ago you said you sold